Hey guys, in this video we're going to be doing another comparison video, having a look here at Retro Cloth Chucky from the Child's Play series. Now this is Chucky as we've already looked at him before already. This is Chucky in more a good guy's look. So really I don't think it looks like a possessed Chucky at all. It looks just like a regular good guy, which did beg the question by many viewers. How would this figure stack up, say for example, with other 6-scale horror figures? Because if you look at him, he's about the size of what a good guy doll in the movie would look like if an adult was holding him. So I decided to test that theory. I'm just going to move the good guys box to the side. And I thought to myself, who would probably be the best horror figure to probably compare with a good guy doll? So I thought to myself very quickly, and I came to the conclusion that Freddy Krueger would probably be the best fit. Of course, we're going to do some other comparisons as well, but there's Freddy Krueger standing next to the good guy Retro Cloth Chucky. Now, one thing that the good guy does benefit from being is retro cloth. So really, other than his face and his hands being plastic, which are really technically plastic in the movie anyways, he has real cloth. He has a real cloth outfit. So really, he pairs perfectly with other horror 6-scale figures. So for example, if we put him next to Freddy's leg, assuming that, say, Andy probably would have been about the waist section, and the good guy is about a head shorter than Andy. It's about a fairly accurate comparison between the Retro Cloth Chucky and, say, for example, the Sideshow Collectibles Freddy Krueger. You could even have some fun. And place, say for example, the good guy in between, the arm and chest of Freddy Krueger, which I think would be fun. And then, of course, you could create a whole scenario of background history between these two characters. Maybe, for example, Fred Krueger used a good guy doll to lure kids into, his den, so to speak. So I think that would be kind of fun, and it would almost even entertain the idea that if I was to display this guy, which I'm starting to consider it, putting this Retro Cloth Chucky along with my other horror figures, it would be fun to display him in the arms of a character such as Freddy Krueger, because I think those two could go really well hand in hand. I thought even further about this. We're just going to put Freddy Krueger there, straighten out his arm. Straighten out Chucky, put him right there. And I thought to myself, who else could have potentially had a good guy during his heyday? Well, obviously the next logical one for me at least was Jason Voorhees. You never know. Maybe Pamela sent him to Camp Crystal Lake, for his ill-fated fate, so to speak. Maybe he went to Camp Crystal Lake with his good guy doll. Probably not Chucky, of course, but still a good guy doll nonetheless. Now, again, we put him next to Retro Cloth Chucky. He's, again, a really accurate, I think a fairly accurate read to how tall he is versus how big Jason would be. And again, you can have some little bit of fun. You could kind of just have the lifeless doll inside Jason's arms. Now, I find Jason doesn't hold him as well because for some reason, like Jason's forearm here is a little loose, or it just doesn't seem to grasp onto Chucky as well as Jason, as Freddy does. And you can kind of you could even really technically have Jason holding the good guy. That's awesome. Holding the good guy, like just where he's dangling him around. Like he wants his mom and he's carrying around the good guy doll. I thought even further, and we're not going to do comparisons with every single one of these figures, but I just want to do this for fun. I thought to myself, well, let's say Chucky is possessing this doll. Well, where would he have gotten the cantation, the spell, perhaps, to put his essence into the doll? And then I kind of thought for a little bit, and then I thought to myself, well, what if Pinhead had something to do with this? What if Pinhead, maybe not directly, he was in charge of, putting life into the doll, but what if it was one of the spells maybe up amongst a dark book that you know, this voodoo magic was used to bring life into the doll. And again, we just put him next to Pinhead. Oh, what a perfect couple. Fits perfectly again with a character such as Pinhead. I think, and I'm surprised I didn't try this before, or I think I know why I didn't try it before. Somebody had suggested when I first had a look at Chucky a long time ago, somebody had made the comment, well, what if you compared him with other 6-scale horror figures? Like, how would he stack up? And my first thought was, well, I wouldn't want to put him with the other horror characters because he's not really a possessed Chucky. At least from my feelings, he's not a possessed Chucky. He looks like just a regular good guy doll, which I feel almost now lends itself better by having it just a regular doll versus being a Chucky. So now you can actually have a character such as a Freddy Krueger holding it, a Jason Voorhees holding it, and maybe, you never know, he's a minion of hell. Just a small little quick video. I just wanted to do this because a couple of viewers had said, like, how exactly does this little guy, this little demon, how does he fit in well with other 6-scale figures? And the answer I would have to give is he fits in really well. If his body was, for example, and his costume was plastic, we wouldn't even be having this video because he just wouldn't simply fit in well. All these characters have real cloth. By NECA making this as a retro cloth figure, you've kind of now been able to put him in the same, really in the same category of display as what you can do with these other 6-scale figures. He has the retro cloth, so again, I think he fits perfectly with the other existing figures. I might even just, you never know, have the box, which I suppose the box is about the only thing that's not quite to scale. The box should be a little bit more skinnier, and it should be probably a little bit shorter as well, because there's no way Andy would have been able to carry a box that big. But despite the fact that the box doesn't fit, I think Retro Cloth Chucky here fits perfectly with other 6-scale horror figures. So that's why we're doing this little fun video today. If you can think of other comparison videos you certainly would like to see on this channel, do certainly let me know down below. But today, though, we were doing a comparison between the Retro Cloth Chucky figure from NECA compared to several different companies' outings on 6-scale figures. We had the 3-0 Pinhead from Hellraiser 3. We had the Sideshow Collectibles Freddy Krueger from Dream Warriors. And then we had Friday the 13th 3D Jason, which again, like, these two characters don't quite look like how they do in the movies, but nonetheless, still a fun series of figures to collect on display. And certainly now, I can put my Retro Cloth good guy. I say good guy, I don't really think of him yet as a Chucky. I guess you could have him possess Chucky and he just hasn't revealed himself yet. But you could have a good guy retro cloth figure along with your other 6-scale figure releases. As always, guys, thanks for watching as you always do. If you haven't had a chance yet to subscribe to this channel, hit that little subscribe button down below. You won't miss a beat when it comes to future videos. As always, guys, thanks for watching as you always do. I'll see you next time.